How to read people's mind. Accurate tips to read body language and gesture. In the vast tapestry of human interaction, we find ourselves constantly immersed in a sea of unspoken communication. Every gesture, every fleeting expression, every subtle shift in posture tells a story. A story that, if we learn to read it, can unlock the hidden depths of the human mind. Today, we embark on a journey to explore the art and science of reading people's minds through their body language and gestures. As we delve into this fascinating subject, I want you to consider, how often have you felt that disconnect between what someone says and what they truly mean? How many times have you sensed an underlying current of emotion that contradicts the words being spoken? This, my friends, is the essence of nonverbal communication, a language as old as humanity itself. Let us begin with the foundation of all human interaction: eye contact. The eyes, often called the windows to the soul, reveal far more than we might realize. When we engage with another person, pay close attention to their gaze. Do their eyes meet yours steadily, or do they dart away? A direct, sustained gaze often indicates confidence and honesty, while averted eyes might suggest discomfort, dishonesty, or submission. But beware of oversimplification. Cultural differences play a significant role in eye contact norms. In some cultures, direct eye contact is seen as respectful, while in others, it may be perceived as aggressive or disrespectful. Always consider the cultural context in your interpretations. Now, let's move beyond the eyes to the face as a whole. The human face is capable of expressing a vast array of emotions through subtle muscle movements. These micro-expressions, as they're called, often occur in a fraction of a second and can reveal true feelings that a person is trying to conceal. To become adept at reading micro-expressions, one must first develop a keen awareness of the 7 universal emotions: anger, disgust, fear, happiness, sadness, surprise, and contempt. Each of these emotions manifests in specific facial muscle configurations. For instance, genuine happiness involves not just the mouth but also the eyes, creating crow's feet at the corners. A smile that doesn't reach the eyes, often called a Pan Am smile after the forced grins of flight attendants, may indicate insincerity or discomfort. As you interact with others, try to observe these subtle facial movements. Are the corners of their mouth slightly turned down? This could indicate sadness or disapproval, even if they're verbally expressing agreement. Do you notice a brief flash of disgust, a slight wrinkling of the nose and raising of the upper lip when discussing a particular topic? This might reveal an underlying aversion or disagreement that they're not expressing verbally. But I caution you, dear listeners, to approach this knowledge with humility and compassion. The ability to read micro-expressions is a powerful tool, but it must be wielded with care. We are not mind readers in the mystical sense, and our interpretations can be flawed. Always seek to understand rather than to judge. Let us now turn our attention to the body as a whole. The way a person carries themselves, their posture, and their gestures can speak volumes about their inner state. Consider the concept of mirroring, the unconscious tendency to adopt similar postures and gestures as the person we're interacting with. When you observe 2 people in deep, comfortable conversation, you'll often notice their body language synchronizing. They may lean in at the same time, cross their legs in the same direction, or use similar hand gestures. This mirroring behavior is a sign of rapport and connection. When you notice someone mirroring your own body language, it often indicates that they feel a sense of harmony with you. Conversely, if someone's body language is markedly different from yours, for instance, if you're leaning in and they're leaning away, it might suggest discomfort or disagreement. Pay attention to the openness or closedness of a person's posture. Open postures with uncrossed arms and legs generally indicate receptiveness and comfort. Closed postures, such as crossed arms or legs, might suggest defensiveness or discomfort. However, be cautious in your interpretations. Crossed arms, for instance, might simply mean the person is cold. As we delve deeper into this subject, I want you to reflect on a profound question. How much of our own nonverbal communication are we aware of? How often do our bodies betray thoughts and feelings that we're trying to conceal? This self-awareness is crucial not only for reading others, but for understanding ourselves. In our quest to understand others, we must not neglect the importance of context. A single gesture or expression, taken in isolation, can be misleading. It's the combination of multiple nonverbal cues considered within the context of the situation that provides the most accurate insight. Consider, for instance, the act of touching one's face. In some contexts, this might indicate nervousness or deception, but it could also simply mean the person has an itch. The key is to look for clusters of behaviors that tell a consistent story. As we conclude this first part of our exploration, I encourage you to practice observing the nonverbal cues of those around you, but do so with an open mind and a compassionate heart. Our goal is not to judge or manipulate, but to understand and connect more deeply with our fellow human beings. Remember, the ability to read body language is a skill that can be developed with practice and patience. As you embark on this journey, you'll find that your interactions become richer, your relationships deeper, and your understanding of the human experience more profound. The harmonic resonance of silent whispers, unraveling the tapestry of human gestures. As we delve deeper into the intricate world of nonverbal communication, let us turn our attention to the symphony of gestures that accompany our words. These silent whispers of the body often speak louder than our voices, revealing truths we may not even be aware of ourselves. Consider the hands, those marvelous instruments of creation and expression. Watch how they move as someone speaks. Are the gestures open and expansive, indicating confidence and enthusiasm? Or are they small and close to the body, suggesting insecurity or reservation? Pay attention to self-soothing gestures like rubbing the neck or playing with jewelry. These often indicate discomfort or anxiety. But let us not fall into the trap of oversimplification. A single gesture, like a single note, does not make a symphony. It is the interplay of multiple gestures, combined with facial expressions and body posture, that creates the full melody of nonverbal communication. As you observe others, I challenge you to look beyond the obvious. Notice the subtle shifts in energy, the almost imperceptible changes in breathing patterns. When someone takes a deep breath before speaking, are they gathering courage to say something difficult? When their breathing becomes shallow and rapid, are they experiencing stress or excitement? Now, let us ponder a profound question. How much of our own nonverbal communication is intentional, and how much is a subconscious reflection of our inner state? This self-awareness is crucial not only for reading others, but for understanding ourselves. As we expand our awareness, we must also cultivate our intuition. That gut feeling you get when something doesn't quite add up? Pay attention to it. Our subconscious mind often picks up on subtle inconsistencies long before our conscious mind can articulate them. But here's a word of caution. Intuition, while valuable, can be clouded by our own biases and past experiences. Always seek to balance intuition with objective observation and empathy. Remember, Our goal is understanding, not judgment. Let us now turn our attention to the concept of personal space. The distance we maintain from others speaks volumes about our comfort level and relationship with them. Notice how people position themselves in relation to others. Are they leaning in, eager to connect? Or are they maintaining a physical barrier, perhaps by placing objects between themselves and others? Cultural differences play a significant role here. What might be considered a comfortable conversational distance in one culture could feel invasive in another. As you hone your skills in reading body language, always consider the cultural context. I want you to reflect on this. How often do we truly give our full attention to the person we're interacting with? In our multitasking world, it's easy to be physically present but mentally elsewhere. Yet, it is only when we are fully present that we can truly read the subtle nuances of nonverbal communication. As we conclude this part of our exploration, I urge you to practice the art of presence. The next time you're in conversation, challenge yourself to be fully there. Notice not just the words being spoken, but the entire symphony of nonverbal cues accompanying them. Listen with your eyes as well as your ears. Remember, the ability to read body language is not about gaining power over others. It's about deepening our understanding, fostering genuine connections, and navigating the complex world of human interactions with greater empathy and wisdom. As we move forward, let us carry this awareness with us, always striving to see beyond the surface, to hear the unspoken words, and to connect with the deeper truths that lie beneath the visible world of gestures and expressions. The ethereal dance of souls, deciphering the unspoken melodies of human connection. As we continue our journey into the realm of nonverbal communication, let us delve into the subtler, more nuanced aspects of human interaction. We've explored the visible signs, the gestures, the expressions, the postures. Now, let's venture into the realm of energy and presence, the invisible currents that flow between individuals. Have you ever walked into a room and immediately sensed the atmosphere? That palpable tension or warmth that seems to hang in the air? This is what we might call the energy of a space or interaction. It's not something we can see or touch, yet it profoundly affects our perceptions and behaviors. To truly read people, we must attune ourselves to this energy. It requires a level of sensitivity that goes beyond mere observation. It's about feeling the subtle shifts in the emotional temperature of an interaction. Are you aware of how your own energy affects those around you? How do you feel when in the presence of someone who is angry, even if they're not expressing it verbally? These are the unspoken melodies we must learn to hear. Consider the concept of congruence, the alignment between what someone says and how they say it. When words, tone, and body language are in harmony, we perceive authenticity. But when there's a discord, when the nonverbal cues contradict the spoken words, we sense dishonesty or internal conflict. I challenge you to become a congruence detective. In your interactions, look for those moments of alignment or misalignment. Does the person's tone match their words? Does their body language support or contradict their verbal message? This skill of detecting congruence, or lack thereof, is invaluable in understanding the true intentions and feelings of others. But as we hone this skill, we must also turn the mirror on ourselves. How congruent are we in our own communications? Do our actions align with our words? This self-reflection is crucial, for in understanding ourselves, we become better equipped to understand others. Now, let's explore the concept of mirroring at a deeper level. We've discussed how people in rapport often unconsciously mirror each other's body language. but there's a more subtle form of mirroring that occurs at an energetic level. Have you ever found yourself inexplicably adopting the emotional state of those around you? This is emotional contagion, a phenomenon where we unconsciously catch the emotions of others. This ability to resonate with others' emotional states is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it allows for deep empathy and connection. On the other, it can leave us vulnerable to manipulation or overwhelm. The key is to develop awareness of when this is happening and to maintain our own emotional center. I want you to ponder this. How can we remain open and empathetic to others' emotions without losing our own emotional balance? This is the art of compassionate detachment, being fully present and understanding, yet not becoming entangled in others' emotional states. As we cultivate this awareness, we must also be mindful of the power dynamics at play in our interactions. Nonverbal cues often reveal much about perceived status and authority. Watch for signs of dominance or submission in body language. Who takes up more space? Who interrupts whom? These subtle behaviors can tell us much about the underlying relationship dynamics. Remember, though, that our goal in reading these cues is not to gain power over others, but to foster understanding and create more balanced, authentic interactions. As we conclude this part of our exploration, I urge you to practice these skills with humility and compassion. We are not mind readers, and our interpretations can be flawed. Always seek to understand rather than to judge, to connect rather than to manipulate. The alchemist's mirror, transmuting silent signals into golden wisdom. As we reach the pinnacle of our exploration into the art of reading people's minds through body language and gestures, we must now confront the ultimate challenge: integrating all we've learned into a cohesive practice of deep, authentic communication. This is where the true alchemy of human interaction takes place, where we transmute our observations and insights into the gold of wisdom and connection. First, let us acknowledge that the ability to read nonverbal cues is not an end in itself, but a means to a greater purpose. That purpose is to foster genuine understanding, to bridge the gaps that often separate us from our fellow human beings. As we apply these skills, we must do so with a spirit of compassion and a desire for mutual growth. Consider this. How can we use our newfound awareness not just to read others, but to create an environment where authentic communication flourishes? It begins with self-awareness. As we become more attuned to the nonverbal signals we're sending, we can consciously adjust our own body language to create a space of openness and trust. Practice active listening, not just with your ears, but with your entire being. When engaging with others, give them your full attention. Notice the subtle shifts in their expression, the rhythm of their breathing, the energy they exude. But don't stop at observation. Allow yourself to truly feel their presence. This deep listening creates a resonance that goes beyond words, fostering a profound connection. Now, let's address a critical question. How do we balance our ability to read nonverbal cues with respect for others' privacy and autonomy? It's crucial to remember that our interpretations, no matter how skilled we become, are always just that, interpretations. We must hold them lightly, remaining open to being wrong, and always seeking clarification when necessary. Use your observations as a starting point for deeper conversation, not as a tool for judgment or manipulation. If you sense incongruence between someone's words and their nonverbal cues, approach it with curiosity rather than accusation. I noticed you seemed tense when we discussed that topic. Is there something more you'd like to share about it? As we refine our skills, we must also be mindful of the ethical implications. With great power comes great responsibility. The ability to read people's nonverbal cues can be used to manipulate or exploit, but that path leads only to shallow victories and hollow relationships. Instead, use this knowledge to create deeper understanding and more authentic connections. Remember, too, that nonverbal communication is a two-way street. As you become more adept at reading others, you'll likely find that they become more attuned to your own nonverbal cues. Embrace this mutual awareness as an opportunity for growth and deeper connection. I challenge you to use these skills not just in your personal interactions, but in broader contexts as well. How might a deeper understanding of nonverbal communication help bridge cultural divides? How could it be applied in fields like education, healthcare, or conflict resolution? As we conclude our journey, I want you to reflect on this profound truth. The most powerful form of mind reading is not about uncovering secrets or gaining advantage. It's about creating a space where people feel safe to reveal themselves fully, where authentic communication can flourish. In your practice, strive to become not just a reader of minds, but a creator of understanding. Use your skills to build bridges, to heal rifts, to bring light to the shadows where misunderstanding breeds. Let your awareness of the unspoken become a force for positive change in your relationships and in the world. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity for alchemy, a chance to transform the base metal of superficial exchange into the gold of genuine connection. As you go forth from here, carry with you not just the techniques we've discussed, but the spirit of compassionate curiosity that underlies them. In this way, you become not just an observer of the human condition, but an active participant in the grand symphony of human connection. May your journey be filled with profound insights, deep connections, and the joy of truly seeing and being seen.